What is the very first thing you remember? Now here's the strange part. You spent years as a baby, yet almost none of those memories remain. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why. Maybe you've seen adorable baby photos of yourself, but no matter how hard you try, you probably can't remember that moment at all. Most people can't remember anything before they were around 3 years old. Scientists have wondered about this mystery for decades. It's almost like your earliest memories simply disappeared. But did they really vanish? To answer that question, we need to take a quick tour inside the amazing human brain. When babies are born, their brains are still under construction. Imagine moving into a house while the builders are still working. Every day, billions of tiny connections are forming between brain cells. These connections help the brain learn how the world works. Think of it like building with toy blocks. At first, everything is loose and messy. Over time, the structure becomes stronger and more organized. Language is another important piece of the puzzle. Before babies learn words, it's much harder for the brain to organize experiences into lasting memories. Words act like labels on storage boxes. Without labels, finding the right memory later becomes much more difficult. But wait, if babies can't remember things, how do they recognize their parents? The answer is that not all memories are the same. Some memories help us recognize faces and learn skills, even if we can't describe them. Just like a tiny plant needs time before it becomes a tree, memory systems also need time to fully develop. Your brain isn't empty as a baby. It's actually incredibly busy, learning, growing, and preparing for a lifetime of memories. So now we know the brain is still developing. But there's another surprising reason baby memories disappear, and it's even more fascinating. One of the most important parts of memory is a small area deep inside your brain called the hippocampus. Think of it as your brain's memory librarian. Every day, the hippocampus helps organize experiences and decides which memories should be stored for later. But during infancy, this system is changing incredibly fast. New brain cells and connections are forming almost every second. Imagine trying to organize a library while thousands of new books arrive every hour. As your brain grows, old memory pathways may be rearranged or replaced. Scientists believe this is one reason early memories become difficult to access. Adults often strengthen memories by talking about them, writing them down, or thinking about them again. Babies can't do that yet. So, even though babies experience the world, their brains store those experiences differently from adult brains. It's a bit like saving a computer file using an old program. Years later, your brain may no longer know how to open it. Scientists are still studying exactly how this works, but the evidence keeps pointing toward brain development as the biggest reason. By the time children reach around 3 or 4 years old, memory systems become much better at creating long-lasting personal memories. But here's something really surprising. What if those baby memories aren't completely gone? What if they're simply hidden? Even without conscious memories, your earliest experiences still shape who you become. They help build trust, emotions, and relationships. That's why love, comfort, and care during infancy are so important. Your brain remembers their effects, even if you don't remember the moments. So forgetting your baby years isn't actually a mistake. It's simply part of how a growing brain develops. Now we've uncovered another major piece of the mystery. But there's one final question scientists are still trying to answer. Every year, new research helps us understand how our earliest memories are formed and why they fade. Even with today's technology, the human brain is still one of the greatest puzzles in science. Researchers continue studying babies, children, and adults to better understand how memory changes throughout life. The more scientists learn about brain connections, the closer we get to solving the mystery of infant memories. So far, the evidence suggests that baby memories aren't missing because babies don't experience life. They're missing because the brain is still building the system needed to store and retrieve those experiences. Here's a fun question. If you could remember one single day from being a baby, what do you think it would be like? Even if you can't remember being held, fed, or comforted, those moments help shape your personality, emotions, and sense of security. It's like planting the roots of a giant tree. You may never see the roots, but without them, the tree couldn't grow strong. Your earliest experiences quietly influence how you learn, connect with others, and understand the world around you. Forgetting your baby years isn't a flaw. It's actually a normal part of growing into the person you are today. Let's quickly recap. First, babies' brains are still developing. Second, language helps organize memories. Third, growing brain connections can make early memories difficult to retrieve. Those three ideas explain why almost everyone experiences what's called childhood amnesia.